All right, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be redesigning our logo. I've been wanting for a while to redo the logo, and as we're about to put out some new merch for ourselves and kind of rebrand as an organization, get a little bit more professional and level up a bit, I wanted to give our logo a little bit of a refresh. The current version of our logo, as it stands, is this very flat looking um, just typography based logo, which I like the overall shape of it, but what I want to do is give it a little bit more depth. You can kind of see here, if I just zoom in on these logos here. I'm on dribble.com getting some inspiration, by the way. These are logos that kind of are used by architecture studios, or at least this person's designing them for architecture studios, and you can see why. They have depth, they have the sense of a building, and I want to kind of borrow that sense while still retaining a little bit of our own kind of distinct kind of take on it. So what we're gonna do is try a few different configurations of this out, and hopefully by the end of it we'll have a pretty good looking piece of vector. So let me go ahead and save this as a new logo. We're just going to call this D&D logo 2023, because it's almost 2023, can you believe it? And I'm just going to start by grabbing these curves. So I kind of like how these look right now, but I'm not sure if I'm totally convinced this is the shape that I want. This section right here is pretty long, so I'm gonna actually see if I can play around with that just a teeny bit. I'm gonna pull all these points in just a hair, if it'll let me, and I'm holding shift so that this thing will move right along with me. And what I want to do is, again, create almost a sense of space. And the way that they do that is a lot with this white space that's here. You see that this is completely closed right now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this so I can work on it by itself. I'm going to hide the old one, and I kind of like this outline. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this again and move it with the V button to a spot where I feel like I can kind of work with it. Yeah, let's try this right here. I want the whole thing to come out looking pretty square. And I probably want to keep a 45-degree angle along this edge to this edge, because I'm kind of envisioning the depth going this way. All right, so again, the way that we can generate that illusion of space is by using white space. And so what I'm going to do is double click this. This is going to be, we'll call it the back one. I'm going to double click it, and what I'm going to do is zoom in. Oh, that's not what I want. There. I'm going to hold Command plus and zoom in here. Hold space to get to the spot where I want, and I'm going to start adding anchor points where I want this thing to end. I think I can do that here. That's not what I wanted. Command and hold Command and grab that. So what I want to do is get rid of this spot in the middle. And so what I'm going to do is create a shape. and try to line it up just so with the inside of this D. And I should be able to do that. Let's see my rulers here with Command R. And we're not snapping, are we? So we're going to make sure that we are snapping. Oh yeah, we are not snapping at all. That's a problem. So I've turned on snapping, and now I should snap to the guide. Very well. I want to make sure the guide is actually correctly snapped to the interior of the D. As you can see, it's just a hair off, so we're gonna fix that. And now I'm gonna move this rectangle and it should snap right to it. Very good. Oh, shape key points. Let's see if that will allow us to snap the guide. Seems like it. So that's pretty good. And then what I want to do is cut this section out. And not being able to make things smaller or zoom in and out with the mouse wheel is really killing me right now. That's okay. And now we are actually out of alignment. So let's grid and axis manager. I just want to be, that's snapping axis. I just want this thing to be, oh, there you go. Alt, Shift, Command, R. Thank you. We'll file that one away. So what I'm gonna do now, after a little bit of a detour, is I'm going to hit V and grab another guide, and I'm going to snap to that guide here. And now I'm going to take this rectangle out of these curves. The way that I'm going to do that, let's go ahead and get rid of this guy because we don't need that anymore. And we'll take these items onto my other monitor over here. And I want to subtract the top shape from the bottom shape. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. You see how that cuts out that portion and leaves me with a curve. I'm going to do the same thing down here. Really what I want is an inversion of the curve here to be cut out. But I guess I don't really need it to be that precise. So again, let's grab a rectangle. Before I do that, I want my guides. So I'm going to hit V to do my selection tool, double click here, and bring this down. Once again, it does not want to snap, so I'm going to select it and see if that'll do it. It won't, so that's not helpful, but we're going to zoom in one more time, make sure that we are snapped up. That looks pretty good. And we're going to make a rectangle. Should snap right to the guide. It's beautiful. And once again, I am going to subtract, just like that. And now, that's not what I wanted, it's control. We've got this kind of, I don't know that I like that. And the reason I don't is because these sections go just a little too far. And we might have chosen an offset that's a little bit too high, but that's okay. However, what I want to do, just to test this out, is I'm going to rotate this 45 degrees. And I'm just going to move that right along the edge there, just so I can catch a glimpse of what this looks like. Move it a little bit, and we're going to cut that out. And one more time, let's make a rectangle here. Rotate to 45 degrees by holding shift. And do the same deal on the other curve, which is this one. Hold Command to select them both, and subtract. I really need to figure out the shortcut for zooming, don't I? There it is. It's Alt. Okay, yeah. So that's looking a little bit better. You can kind of see a little bit more of a sense of depth, specifically because this line right here is really strong. The only problem is because these two Ds are so far apart, it really kind of breaks the illusion here. You need these to be slightly closer together. So I'm going to start over. Let's I'm going to just group these for now and hide them. And we're going to start with one more time with a complete D. Going to do the same deal. Move this guy over. But instead of going as far as we did last time, we're going to go a little closer. Again, I'm going to use a, well, just for testing, let's merge these. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Let's merge these. Still not what I wanted. No, that's not what I want either. I want that's not what I want. Just want to merge them, but it's going to do that. Okay, that's not what I want either. So, okay, we'll divide them and then we'll put them together. How's that? Very good. And then now we're going to come over here with our shape. We're going to go 45 degrees and get right to that corner. And subtract it. And then we're going to do the same right here. This is just a proof of concept, so I'm not going to try to be too precise. Okay. This guy needs to be removed. So we'll just hold V, or hit V to select, grab him, select him, grab him, and let's take a look here. Move this back. Let's just go back to normal color. Okay. And let's move this a little closer. Okay, so that's starting to get a little bit better. I like the, there's definitely a little bit more sense of depth, but right around here, there seems to be a little bit of a break in the illusion. So what we're going to do is we're going to go along here, and again, wow, that's a lot of points. Just to, again, as a proof of concept, we're going to get another curve that looks pretty much the exact same. Pull it back over this way. And what I'm trying to do here, if you can't tell, is to cut out a little bit of this portion above here to create a sense of depth by cutting that portion out. So I zoom back out. You see that we're getting a little bit better, right? You've got some space right there. So we're going to do the same thing down here. Again, being super sloppy. I'm not really all that concerned with accuracy right now, although I probably will be once it's time to ship this out. Try to get those squared up as much as I can. And again, we're going to subtract it down. As you can see, I definitely screwed that up, but that's okay. Wow, okay, yeah, now we're talking. So you can see by adding a little bit more depth, this is getting much closer to what we want. And the that line right there really preserves that sense of depth, as well as the one that, breaking that and creating a shadow between one line and the other line and some separation. But the really neat thing about this is that by pulling this piece all the way down here, it kind of also creates this little bit of an optical illusion feel, which is very eye-catching, and I really like that. So that'll be it for kind of this exploratory one. I'm gonna go in and clean this up, and we'll see if we can get this shipped out. Hopefully get some really nice new polos.